Kindness is one of our core values, and we absolutely put this one in every single job posting we have. And it's remarkable how many people comment that they applied for the job because we talked about kindness in our culture. So my name is Paul with Proshop ERP. We make software to help manufacturing companies go paperless, the world-class culture builder. So as Dan says, the goal of the leaders is to build the team, and the team's job is to build the company. And one of the things that is so critical about this is that if you don't have a great culture, you're going to not get alignment on the team, you're going to have higher turnover. It's hard to build that cohesive team that works together without a great culture. So fun fact, not fun fact, during COVID, average turnover sort of across the economy yearly was almost 40% voluntary resignations. Now, I'm sure as a group, we're much less than that, but it can still be a major impediment. So in our company, in the last 2 years, we've grown from about 24 people to about 60, and we've had 2 people voluntarily leave in that period of time. About 30% of our team followed us from our last company, and if you ask most of our team members, they will say that Proshop is the best place they've ever worked. I'm not trying to brag on that, just saying we're doing some things right, and I'm gonna share what we're doing. So raise your hand, what would it feel like to have your employees say that your company is the best place they've ever worked? People love that? Absolutely, right? All right, so here's the framework, as Dan says. So I'm drawing a square, and at the bottom of the square, I am putting vision and values. Vision and values helps drive alignment in your team. It gives them a shared purpose, a goal to shoot for, and you can make decisions based on those values. So it's imperative to just spend the time to do that, and it'll be a foundation for everything else you're gonna build. My next thing is hire. What do I mean by that? And you can see I'm using alliteration in my points. Some of them are gonna get a little ridiculous, but bear with me. I mean elevating your recruiting and hiring process. We put in our job ads many of our core values. That automatically attracts people who those values resonate with. So we're already getting a better pool of applicants coming in for our jobs. And then in our interviewing process, and I'll give full credit to our HR director, we use a 3-pronged approach. Number 1 is positive inquiry. We're really interested in what they are like as people, what they have done, what they are interested in. We have positive regard. This is kind of like assume positive intent, right, always. And then active listening is the 3rd. When you use these 3 tactics, it's amazing how much people open up and really share their true self of what they are, what is meaningful to them, what they care about. And that helps us even further make sure that we are only hiring people on our team that are just amazing for our culture. And I will bust a myth here. Some people talk about sort of interviews that are a little bit more hostile or a little bit confrontational to kind of bring out the best in them. We don't think that's a good tactic to get the best out of people. All right, the next point up here is keep it kind. Kindness is one of our core values, and we absolutely put this one in every single job posting we have. And it's remarkable how many people comment that they applied for the job because we talked about kindness in our culture. It doesn't have to be one of your values, but I can't imagine a company that doesn't have a great culture where the culture of kindness just permeates the whole company. We talk about kindness, we're talking about all sorts of things. We're talking about attention to them, showing up with empathy, humility, really being genuinely interested in people, and of course treating them with kindness and love. Kindness is an incredible buffer to burnout. When people are coming to a place where they feel connected and loved, it just helps them avoid burnout, which is one of the causes of voluntary resignation. It also is an incredible buffer for forgiveness. We all make mistakes in our companies, and when you have a strong foundation of kindness, people are gonna give you the benefit of the doubt more often than not. So really important there. We had an incredible story just a couple of weeks ago. One of our team members was working with a client, and it was a little bit of a fraught implementation, but that client said to us, working with the Proshop team makes us wanna be more kind in our own company to our own people. I just thought that was just an incredible piece of feedback and just a great example of how kindness can just permeate even outside the company. So that's an important one. Next one here is love your leaders. And I'm not talking about being preferential to, be kinder and better to your leaders, but as our HR director says, the best thing we can do for our entire company is just absolutely support and love and bolster and train and scaffold and empower our leaders to show up as the very best versions of themselves to lead the rest of the team. And this is also more scalable. Just really doing what we can do to make sure that they feel supported and they show up just as their best selves for the rest of their teams. All right, the next one here is the silliest of them, but it's alliteration again. I'm calling it comfy cushions. And what do I mean by that? These are things that we do just on a daily, weekly basis that help people feel appreciated and loved, and just fun little things. They're things like the Gusto gift cards we give to our employees when we recognize them for a core value that they're representing towards their team or towards our customers. It is the numerous chat channels we have where people can talk about pets or holidays or food or motorcycles or whatever, because as people develop friendships with other peers, they're more likely to stay engaged, and if they have friends at work, they like that better. You know, the gift baskets we give for major life events. There's a new baby, there's you know, their kid got into college, things like that. It's dinners out, like just take your family to dinner sometime in the next couple of weeks and send us the bill. Now at the top of my box, I have one more, and this is called trusses. And the reason we call it trusses is because I'm gonna do something here. This is not just a box, this is actually a home, a house. A truss is triangles, right? It's made up of triangles, and triangles are the strongest shape there is. And these trusses are further made up into smaller triangles. In each one of these triangles, the points of the triangle represents a person, and the lines between them represents the buildup of trust between those people. So it goes up and down the org chart, from leaders to directs to coworkers and peers and back and forth. And when you have an incredible culture of trust, that helps protect the organization from outside forces, from stresses, and it just helps provide a real strength to that culture. As a summary, the 6 points we have here: incredible importance of starting with vision and values as a foundation of everything you're doing, making sure when you're hiring, you're bringing in those great people, they are super aligned into your culture, you're keeping it really kind, you're loving on them the best they can. Adrian, our HR manager, says, what can I do to love on you the best? Right? And we ask people, what can we do to love on you? Including those leaders that are gonna trickle down that love to their teams. We're gonna provide a lot of really nice little benefits and perks and things that they just feel really good about. And then we're gonna protect our whole house of culture with these trusses of trust. And when we do all that, we just have an amazing world-class culture. And that just fosters an environment where people care about each other, they care about performing for each other, so they're gonna wanna work harder for people that they like and love. And at the end of the day, what could be more important than building a culture and a company where people love to come together, they feel like a family, they work together towards important missions and doing amazing things together. So my call to action to you is open up your calendar in the next couple of weeks, put an hour or two on the calendar with your team and see what your house of culture looks like and build it up so you guys can go do amazing things. Thank you very much.